So when it comes to honoring like authenticity within ourselves, obviously there is a very real reality that the world does exchange with us and certain behaviors have almost a predictable effect. So it's like, where are the bounds, or how do you define my true authenticity, but also being able to function in society?
Sure. Well, look, and again, I talked about balancing on the bike, right?
Right.
So you could tip over to the side of suppression.
Mm-hmm.
You could also tip over to the side of, well, I'm just being authentic, so what are you complaining about?
Right.
Get up. That was my authentic impulse to punch you in the face.
Right. That's not good.
Kicking the nuts, you know? Like,
yeah.
No, authenticity has nothing to do with doing whatever your impulses tell you to do. Authenticity, as we define it in the book, and this is my dad's definition, I think it's a good one. Number one, being in touch with our gut feelings. And it's also a survival need, just like attachment is. And we have a whole chapter about what happens when those two needs are pitted against each other. Attachment always wins because the child needs to be connected with the parents more than they need to be fully themselves. But it's also an important survival need. Imagine being one of our prehistoric ancestors out on the wild plains, and there's a leopard grazing somewhere, and we don't know how to sense it. We don't know how to trust any animal would be dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to know how to trust our gut feelings, and authenticity also, and then learning how to honor them in a responsible, choice-based way. So I can honor if I'm angry at you, well, yeah, one thing to do is to punch you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another thing to do is to yell epithets at you. Another thing to do is to take space for myself. Another thing to do is to say, I really didn't like that, I'm going to walk away. I mean, we have choices. Authenticity also, in fact, probably the more authentic choices are going to be the less reactive, violent ones, because authenticity also means knowing our values, knowing what we stand for. What kind of person do I want to be? What, and I think Jordan Peterson would like this word, character. Like, I want to be a person of integrity and character, right? Which means, how would I want to, so what does it mean for me to respond with integrity in a challenging situation? Well, that's part of authenticity too. Authenticity also means being able to feel the range of our emotions fully. And if I can't feel it in this moment, then in the next chance I get, I'm going to go process it, at least allowing myself to say, yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm tired. Yes, I'm excited. Yes, I'm sad. Yes, I've had enough, and then to say no. Authenticity means the capacity to recognize I'm done, no, and then to find a way to communicate it that is, effective. And usually that's going to be the most respectful way, the cleanest way, right? Usually when we behave in shitty ways, we're not really resolving. We're putting more, we're like keeping the toxicity going, and we're going to have to deal with those consequences too. So I think it can be kind of a false dichotomy between like, should I be authentic or should I be respectful and kind? No, you are both. You can be both. That's what we would all want for ourselves, I think. I think alignment means keeping, and I use the concept of alignment in my mental chiropractic work, the metaphor of chiropractic. The mind is like, the self is like a spine, and we have our thoughts and our feelings. We can be aware of them, and we can honor them and listen to them and consider them. But really our intentions and our values are the things we want to align with, but not at the expense of like, I'm not going to feel what I feel, or I'm going to pretend all the time, or I'm just going to act out my emotions instead of, because often when we act out our emotions, it's a way of not feeling them. We just outsource them onto everybody else. This is what abusers do.
Oh, interesting. So it's like, instead of me feeling scared, vulnerable, X, I'm going to inflict that on you. 100%. Almost. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could look at it a number of different ways. I hate the vulnerability in myself. I see the fear in your face. It makes me want to smash something. Well, I'll take the nearest available breathing thing.
Wow.
But also just on a more kind of, on the level of physics, I have energy I don't know how to contain. I hate how this feels. You're the closest thing to me. I'm going to call you the cause, and I'm going to get it out of me through you. Like, I'll be the lightning and you be the tree. Well, you can do that, But A, you're going to damage people, sometimes badly, sometimes permanently, and your relationships. You're not going to resolve the self-hatred. In fact, you're going to hate yourself more. And it's probably going to happen again until you deal with the pain underneath. So yeah, everything we're talking about in this book, the toxicity has to do with separating ourselves from the ability to sit with our own pain. Authenticity is also the ability to say, ouch, man, fuck, it hurts. And so many of us lose that ability. We learn to overcome it or be better than it or push it away or deny it or amplify it out of all proportion and try to get pity and sympathy and all that. But that's not really vulnerable pain. That's looking for fortifications because we don't have them in ourselves.